Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. You know, I was thinking, just sitting around thinking in my kitchen, I have these gorgeous mangoes and they're ripening beautifully. And look at the different colors. And there's so many different types of mangoes, but these mangoes are fragrant and delicious and they're very ripe. Now, I've made mango sorbet, but I have never made popped into my head a, a mango daiquiri ice cream. Wouldn't that be cool? With a little rum and lime juice. Yeah, right? Yum, yum, yum. You could even use a scoop of this in make like a frosty type daiquiri with this as a scoop of ice cream in it. It would be so awesome. Well, we're going to make it today because I just thought, why not? So before we get started, I want you to click that notification button because I want you to become a subscriber. And I don't want you to miss any of my tips or videos. So please click that button. All right, so yummy mango daiquiri ice cream. Not sorbet. I've made sorbet before. Sorbet has no dairy in it. This will have milk and cream, but it is a custard. So it is a stovetop custard. But the first thing we have to do is get our mangoes in shape so that we can use them as part of the base of the ice cream. So I have my my blender, food processor, whatever you want to use, ready to go. And I'm going to start cutting these mango up. I have 2 of them, mangoes. And the way I usually do it, now you can take a vegetable peeler, I've done that too, but I like to look at the ends, all right, and just trim those off. Look how beautiful that looks inside. That's a mango, all right, and it smells so good. It smells yummy. And I'm usually the one sucking on the mango pit. If you've ever heard my podcast, I love to suck on a mango pit. And you're going to take your knife and you're just going to go down around the skin of or the peel of the mango. Just go all the way down. And when you're done with that, you are going to start cutting the fruit away from the pit. And then you're going to cube it, maybe 1/2 inch size pieces, and put it into your food processor. I'm going to also add 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of corn syrup, light corn syrup, and I have 1/4 teaspoon of salt plus a pinch, just to give it a little, daiquiri-esque sweet and a little salty. It'll be really good. All right, and we're going to whiz that up in our food processor. You can use a blender, food processor, until it's nice and pureed. We want it smooth, okay? And then I will see you back. So I pureed my mango mixture. It is awesome looking. It almost looks like a pie filling. It's so beautiful and so delicious, and it's super, super smooth. It turns out both mangoes, 2 mangoes, will give you about 2 cups volume. All right, so measure 2 cups. If it's a little more, a little less, you're fine. And you're pureeing that with your corn syrup and your salt and your lime juice. Beautiful. All right, so now we're getting ready for our custard, our ice cream custard. So I have 3/4 of a cup of whole milk on the burner. It is coming up to a simmer just below the boil. And we're going to create an ice cream custard, but we have to cook it because we don't want to have raw eggs. So here I have 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Cornstarch not only is a little bit of a thickening agent, but it actually also elevates the coagulation temperature of eggs. Any starch will. And what I mean by that is it won't curdle as quickly. Super, super fun fact, okay? 2 egg yolks, 2 large egg yolks. And I have 1/4 cup of whole milk. Just because all of this sugar and yolks is a lot. You can't mix it up very well. So I'm going to mix this until the very, very bright yellow of the eggs turns paler, a little bit more pale. And you don't want to leave sugar and egg yolks together at the same time, okay? It's like dangerous because, not that dangerous, but it's dangerous in a way because the sugar sucks any moisture out of the egg yolks and actually can create these yellow lumps. And maybe you've seen that before when you've done some baking where you have to mix your yolks and your sugar ahead of time. So you want to keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it loose as a goose and keep it moving, okay? So it's lightening up. I want to add a little air in here. I'm almost up to a simmer, which is good, just below the boil. And what we're going to do is temper these egg yolks. Get them used to the warm or the hot milk, okay? And I have an ice water bath ready because I want to stop the cooking process once we get the desired thickness and we've cooked our egg yolks. I am not going to use the thermometer, all right? I'm going to take this off the heat now and slowly, this is my milk and it's been nice and simmered, and I'm going to add a little bit. And my egg yolks, I'm basically saying to them, get used to the warmth, fellas, because more is coming. So we're just going to get them going. You add a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. And then you can go a little faster. All right, nothing's going to happen now. And then I'm just going to wipe this down so you don't get your burner all full of milk. And then I'm going to pour this mixture, uncooked mixture, back into my saucepan, all right? And I am going to keep it over the heat. I'm going to keep it over the heat until it gets thick enough to coat the spoon. And the cornstarch helps because it's also a thickening agent. But we also have that protection of that starchiness, which will help create insurance so that our egg yolks won't go from, we want them to coagulate. Coagulate just means that they get thicker. They thicken the liquid that they're in. We just don't want them to curdle. Curdle is an ugly word. Things get icky and gross and lumpy, and we don't want that. So we don't want it to get too low. Okay, we don't want it to get too hot. So I'm just monitoring. I'm monitoring here. And you want to never let this come to a full boil. But the ice water bath, I have a big bowl with icy water, and then I have a smaller bowl on top of it with a sieve. So I'm going to sieve anything that may have coagulated, okay, because it happens. And you can see what this looks like now. Okay, it looks really, really nice. And it's not going to take that long. I just want to make sure we cook our eggs. And it's going to get slightly thick. And like I said, if you go a little too far, the sieve will catch it. So much insurance. Chef Gail loves insurance. All right, so let's see what we got. I'm going to dip the spoon in. And let's see if we can pull. See it? Leaves a path with my finger. You're done. You're done. Let's turn this baby off. And now we're going to put this right through. I'm going to move this over so you can see. We're going to pour this mixture through. It almost looks like a custard because it is a custard, but it's not as thick a custard as you may. Whoop. We don't want to lose you. My ice is going all over the place. Okay, so let me get to my, that's why I brought this rubber spatula. I knew I was going to need it, right? I knew. So we're just going to move this over and pour the rest of it in. There we go. All right. And then we're just going to gently move this around. We're not going to press the solids through. We don't want the solids. The solids are not what we want. All right, so I'm just gently having it move through. You can see the custard's coming down. There may be a few curdlings, okay? So that's okay. We got our sieve. All right, and then we put in our flavoring agents, our beautiful mango puree, our rum, and our lime zest and cream. So the cream is going to give it a little heft, you know, a little creaminess and a little richness. And we're going to just wipe this off gently. Okay, I'm going to put that in here and move this into my sink. All right, and then I have my extra whisk, and I'm going to let this sort of, you know, cool down a little bit. At this point, you could almost use it and put some vanilla in it and almost use it as a vanilla creme anglaise or like a custard sauce. But really, we want this to be, I'm actually going to take some of this ice out. Let me pour some of this out. Okay. Good big bowl is a really good thing to have when you're making an ice water bath. It's really good. So we're just going to let this cool for a minute. And then we're going to add our beautiful mango puree. And then we have our 1 cup of heavy cream. And you do want heavy cream, unfortunately. You can use half and half. But if you use milk or skim milk, you will get an icy quality you won't like. So don't do it if you don't have to. 3 tablespoons, oh yeah, rum, rum, and a teaspoon of only the green part of the lime. You don't want the white part because it's going to add bitterness. So I'm going to add my zest because we're cooling down. I'm going to just add that and mix that in. Okay, so you're going to see little green bits. I can smell it. It's so fragrant. So nice. And as I start adding my liquid, I'm going to move this out of the way. All right, because it is getting very heavy and sloshy. Is sloshy a word? Well, it is now. I'm going to add my heavy cream. Just want to mix that in. All right. My worst fear is, will my bowl be big enough? And then I'm going to add in my rum, 3 tablespoons of rum. Now, a little note to those of you that really like rum. If you really, really like rum and say, ooh, 3 tablespoons is really, really good, how about a half a cup? How about a quarter? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Exert some restraint, people. Because if you add too much rum, it actually depresses the freezing point. And it actually makes it harder for it to freeze. And you'll end up with very liquidy ice cream that will be not what you want. It won't freeze properly. Or it may not freeze at all. So be careful. Now, slowly we're going to do this or else Chef Gail will be wearing my mango daiquiri base. This is beautiful. You can see the yellow color. It's got this beautiful yellow orangey color. And you got little tiny bits of the lime zest. Now, once it's very cool, it's fine to put through an ice cream maker. You do want to put it through an ice cream maker. So whatever you use, electric, whether you churn it, whether you use the salt and the brine, whatever you want to do, or you put that thing in the freezer and then pull it out and get it going, whatever you do, look at how beautiful that is. And you know what you have to do, people, is you must taste your base before it goes into your ice cream maker. Look how thick and beautiful. Oh, yeah. I need a pool to sit by right now. It is yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, I am going to cover this with plastic wrap. I'm going to chill it. Hopefully, if I have time, I'll chill it overnight. If I can't wait, I'm going to let it chill maybe at least 1 to 2 hours. You want to get it nice and cold. The colder it is, the less icy it will freeze, the better it will feel to your mouth. So you have a better mouth feel, as we say in the chef world. And it will actually go through your ice cream maker much, much better if it's not warm, because it'll take too long. Some ice cream makers won't work if they're really warm. So chill this, and it also melds the flavors together. It lets them sort of get jiggy with each other and really, really blend with like the rum and the mango. All right, so I'm going to chill this, cover it, chill it, and I will see you back. So my mango daiquiri ice cream base, remember I put it in the refrigerator. I let it chill for several hours and even overnight. And then I put it through my ice cream machine. Whatever machine you want to use is fine. Just make sure you put that one part into the freezer, that freezing bowl that you need to chill, actually freeze before you make ice cream. If you have that type, just be prepared. And now I stored it in an airtight container in the freezer to get firmer and to sort of have all the flavors meld again. And now we're ready to scoop. We're ready to scoop our beautiful, beautiful mango daiquiri ice cream. So here I go. And look how pretty. Came out a really pretty yellow, as it should, as it should. Ugh. So I'm gonna, and it's actually not that hard to scoop. I just left it out for maybe a minute or two. Pretty easy. And it looks so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm going to take, you don't have to do this, but I'm all into the garnish and the plating. It just looks really nice. I think we ought to give it a shot and try it. I might have taken a spoonful or two after it came out of the ice cream machine. It's smooth, creamy, mango. I taste a hint of rum, as we would like to in a daiquiri, but it's not overpowering. It's great even for, anybody would enjoy this with a hint of lime. So I hope you become a subscriber. Please make my mango daiquiri ice cream. You will love it. Till next time.